Well, on the 3rd of July, we celebrate the feast of St. Thomas the Apostle. What a beautiful feast to think about and to reflect upon, and a great learning opportunity for the children, whether you're doing Sunday school or you're doing classroom teaching. Take advantage of the feast when you can to do a brief presentation perhaps and find opportunities. Of course, this is taken from the very special moment when Jesus has risen from the dead and Thomas was not around to be a witness, and the gift he gave us through his doubting. So here is the little booklet, and it is called 2 Times Jesus Appears to the Apostles. The core concepts are as follows. Jesus appears to the apostles and gives them power to forgive sins. Thomas is not present. He does not believe Jesus is truly risen. Later, Jesus appears when Thomas is present, and then he believes. The truth of the resurrected Christ is something that we believe, even though we were not present as the disciples were back then. So it helps the teacher, it helps you as a teacher, as a catechist, think, what is the main point that we want to get through to our young students? What opportunities are we going to present to them? What truths are they going to be able to discover? For this, it's quite handy to have the Cenacle material. So I have got the Cenacle interior design here, and the risen Jesus, who you will see shortly, and a gathering of the apostles. And if you counted them, you realize Judas is not there, -1, and Thomas is not there, -2. So here we are. And this is the presentation that you might present to children, more or less in this way. Well, St. John writes an account of what happened when Jesus appeared to the apostles. There was one apostle who was not there at the time, as you're going to hear in a minute, and we're going to find out now what happened. And I'm going to light my candle today. St. John 20, verses 19 to 29. When it was evening on that day, the first day of the week, and the doors of the house where the disciples had met were locked for fear of the Jews, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." After he said this, he showed them his hands and his side. The disciples rejoiced when they saw the Lord. Oops, sorry, I'll try and fix that up. Jesus said to them again, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, so I send you." When he said this, he breathed on them and said to them, "Receive the Holy Spirit. If you forgive the sins of any, they are forgiven them. If you retain the sins of any, they're retained." It's as though the Holy Spirit came on them at that time. But Thomas, one of the 12, was not with them when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We've seen the Lord." But he said to them, unless I see the mark of the nails in his hands, and put my finger in the mark of the nails, and my hand in his side, I will not believe." A week later, his disciples were again in the house, and this time Thomas was with them. Though the doors were closed, shut, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here and see my hands. Reach out your hand and put it in my side. Do not doubt, but believe." Thomas answered him, "My Lord and my God." Jesus said to him, "You've believed because you have seen me. Blessed are those who have not seen me and yet have come to believe." And then there are the wondering and the pondering questions that can be thought about in small groups. If they're older, then they can come together and share the thoughts. And they could be like this: why was it hard for Thomas to believe the apostles? Jesus asked Thomas to put his finger in the wounds. I wonder how he knew what had been said, how Thomas had said that he did not believe. I wonder what was going through Thomas's mind when he actually touched the wounds of Jesus. And who was Jesus thinking about when he said these words? Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are they who have not seen and yet have come to believe. You might also then have some images. I've only got the one here, which is a Caravaggio, beautiful Caravaggio painting of Saint Thomas investigating the wounds as Christ asked him to do. So you may find some others as well to be able to show the children, or just simply have them in the background so that they can refer to them. It's a presentation you could perhaps do on the feast of St. Thomas and help the children to ponder about the amazing gift that he gave us through his doubting.